I must admit, I love Thanksgiving. That's why I'm preaching on it already. I love everything about Thanksgiving. It's, without doubt, my favorite holiday. First of all, I love 4 days off. There's also the whole tone of those 4 days. It does have an atmosphere of gratitude, almost in every family and congregation. There are football games that run throughout the weekend. And that cold, crisp weather, you can still go out and take long walks in it. And of course, the food. Okay, we all have our favorites. We go back to what our mother provided. For me, it's candied yams, stuffing, and only a certain sort of pumpkin pie. And I love Thanksgiving hymns. My favorite, "Come, ye thankful people, come, raise the song of harvest home." I grew up in a rural community. And I love Thanksgiving because you get 4 days off. Did I mention that? Now, I want to talk about Thanksgiving not just because it's my favorite, but because of a conversation I had on a plane recently. I was bumped up to first class. I was praising God for that. And Dave sat down next to me. And Dave was a talker. And you should know on planes, I'm a sleeper. And the only thing that caught my attention and kept me awake was that he was talking about all his Thanksgiving plans. And because it was my favorite holiday, I joined in and started talking, and he sensed I could tell something about my conversation that interested him. He finally said, "Now, what do you do? What's your job?" And I said, "Well, I'm a president of a seminary." And as you know, that's often a showstopper. But he then riddled me with many questions. He was curious, but not curious in the sense of admiration for what I did. He was curious in the sense of a doctor who's just discovered a rare disease in a new patient. You see, Dave was critical of church, and he was even more critical of clergy. And now he was sitting at the motherlode of what he considered a problem. Wow, and he had facts and figures and stories. That was our flight. I was hearing about sexual abuse and greed, moral intimidation, and for him, clergy, they were all too political and too conservative. He thought we were out of touch with the real world, and then he added, and here I thought he was really piling on, he said, "You're overweight, you're depressed, and you're dull." Again, I thought he was piling on. So I went into my Luther Seminary president mode and gave it my best stump speech. I said, "Well, let me describe the students who are coming now to Luther Seminary, who are responding to the call. They're younger, they're smarter, they've got GPAs, they used to choose professions like being doctors and lawyers, and now they're wanting to go into the ministry and serve the world, and they are more ready for service." I tried my best. It did not faze him in the slightest. Because, as he responded, he saw us really, he didn't use these exact words, but he saw us as hopeless, not hip, not very attractive to spend time with. In a way, and again, I'm using my words to describe what he said, which was sharp, he saw us as spiritually sick, almost contagious. Now, it would have been easy just to dismiss this guy, Dave, except I come home and my daughter gives me this video clip. She says, all the students at Luther are watching it. So that's why I show it here, for the benefit of the staff and faculty. Now I show it, it's only 3 minutes, but I show it as an example, maybe an illustration of how people outside the church view us seminarians. Play it.
So you want to go to seminary?
Yes, I am called by God.
But you're a woman.
What?
You didn't know?
I knew I was a woman.
Knew? What?
No, I know I am a woman.
And you still want to go to seminary?
Yes,
Good God, why?
I am called by God to love and serve God's people.
Are you gay?
You can't ask me that.
You are still a woman.
Yes, I know that.
Good. Glad that is settled.
I still want to go to seminary.
Are you sure you don't want to be a church secretary instead?
No,
It's the same thing, really.
I am called by God and want to be a pastor.
Pastors have the highest rates of alcoholism, depression, and obesity.
I will avoid those temptations by relying on God and having a strong support community.
Good luck with that. Seminarians are the people that Trekkies and sci-fi geeks call nerds. Seminary is like a religious Comic-Con, except without the costumes or fun. Even if you do manage to make friends with these people, you will be forced to move so frequently that you will eventually give up any hope of maintaining friendships and become a recluse.
No, I won't. My faith is strong.
You would be a pretty nun. You know that pastors don't make any money.
Money is not important.
Then how will you get people to give to the church so you don't have to live on the street and hide from Sally Mae?
People are generous. They will give money to support the mission of God.
Dear God, you are naive.
Seminary will teach me how to foster good stewardship among God's people.
No, seminary will teach you what a lot of dead white men thought about God.
I will attend a radical seminary that cares about justice and post-colonialism and inclusivity.
This is why they should not let women be pastors.
What?
Nothing. Even if you do attend that kind of seminary, you will horrify the people in your congregation if you bring up those ideas. Then they will fire you.
No, they won't. I will teach it in such a way that their eyes will be opened and they will understand.
Is that so?
Yes,
You realize you will be assigned to serve your first call in rural North Dakota. They will pay you less than minimum wage, and you will freeze your butt off.
I don't care. I will serve wherever God needs me.
Do you know how to ice fish?
What? What does that have to do with being a pastor?
Never mind. You'll let me know how that whole seminary thing works out for you.